and chill with me? Come on. Check.
You can send him wherever, dude. Are you gonna be all right sitting there, or are we gonna kind of do a side thing, or?
Let's just figure it out. You're thinking too much right now.
Well, yeah, dude, this is my fucking thing.
I know. I know.
It's not,
But-
all right. So you can turn if you wanted to. You can turn off to your left if you want.
Like to there?
Yeah, you're still.
Yeah,
okay.
you know me. I
All right,
swing around.
all
It'll
right,
be
we're
fine.
good. As long as we're like in it somehow.
I drank a lot too.
You can leave your shit up there, dude. It's whatevs. I don't know what Ready?
Yep.
All right. Here it is. Am I loud?
No, you're good.
Feel like
you're
I'm
good.
loud. Well, I like to be loud. What's up, dudes? I'm Dom. This is Browse. And this is PJs Son's Podcast. As much as I like that thing, you see how it says PJs Son Podcast? So it should be PJs Son's Podcast. I
Oh, we
think.
just got to change it.
or,
We'll just etch a little S.
or
on the end.
leave it a little fucked up because this whole thing is a little fucked up. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
just
So
a little
it-
bit.
so
but
it kinda-
it's cool.
It kind of
It's
works.
cool.
I want to start off by telling you that I cried yesterday.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, which isn't so not no I'm kind of an emotional person, but we were watching the show on Netflix called I think it's Inside the Mind of a Dog.
Huh.
Dude, and so first of all, I'm obviously a huge dog person, but so they were taking these dogs and they were training them to be service dogs.
Mhm.
In the middle of all the training and stuff, they were talking about dogs' sense of smell, their eyes, where they came from, as far as like being wolves, and then we basically, turned them into this domesticated animal that we can live with now and love, and that they love us too, and all this stuff, right? So it was showing the fucking dogs, and if their tail does one thing, it's like these nerd dog people studying dogs, which is pretty cool.
Sure.
But so at the end of it, they brought the dogs in to meet the people. So when you get a service dog, this isn't veteran only. This like obviously civilians too. When you get a service dog, they don't just hand you the dog and say go have a good life,
Right.
because the dog has been trained by a trainer to do specific things. So they kind of custom fit it for you. If you're in a wheelchair, you're going to need help. A, B, C. You're going to need things. If you have, if you're blind, of course, you're going to need other things, right? So, they kind of custom train service dogs for the individuals. So you have to like meet the trainer. These people had to stay at this place for 2 weeks
Okay.
to learn how to train with these dogs. This girl, I don't know what her disability was. I'm trying to be as PC as I can here, people. I don't know what it was, but she could understand everything that you were saying, and she had like a great like sense of humor and shit. So she was she was sharp as can be, but her communication. So, but like the fucking parents, and so she was 23, and the parents, like them seeing her light up, her lighting up, her feeling this bond to this dog, like immediately when he walked over, he just kind of like laid there.
Right.
And I mean, just the fucking best case scenario for a parent, and I don't know if she had a service dog. I was kind of thinking to myself, and it sounded kind of fucked up, but like, what the fuck did you wait 23 years for? But she could have had a service dog that passed away, of course. But like, and then, it was just a room that I think there was 8 or 9 folks there with all the different kind of disabilities, but these fucking dog, and like, if the dog doesn't if you and the dog don't have a bond, like it probably won't work out.
Sure.
So like it could be another 9 months, a year and a half, whatever it takes to get this dog, to get a new puppy. But I mean, like just seeing her and she was crying and her dad he was like this big hulking, like truck driver looking fucking guy. And he kind of broke down, but he was keeping it strong and I'm sitting there and Alicia was kind of like petting our dog. Cause of course when she's like, that's what Echo does. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He's so fucking undisciplined. Like,
where is he right now? Oh, look.
All right, I'll give it to him on this
right.
one. He was just acting a fucking fool, though. So yeah. He knows when the camera's rolling to be good.
Right.
So she was kind of like down, like fucking around with him, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's beautiful, you know. I was like, dude, it got me, and she was like, I knew you were gonna cry right when we started watching this. I'm like, I can't help it, dude.
Oh man.
But it was talking about the whites of their eyes. But it was all just this really interesting, the smell that they have. We have rods and cones. One of them picks up light. The other one does color. They have more of one than we do. But it was just wild, the whole thing about dogs and how important they are to us. And so a long time ago, something to the effect of wolves. First of all, wolves made it through a lot of things that a lot of other animals didn't make it through. Whether it's because they would go out real far, stay with their pack, hunt, kill, whatever, and they didn't really need to be in these little tribes and shit that we had way thousands of years ago. But what ended up happening was when the Homo sapiens started learning how to hunt, well, obviously they're going to take, like, you know, let's say with a deer, right? You got the backstrap, you got the this, you got the that.
Right.
There's a lot of leftover shit. So these wolves, these packs of wolves would eventually, of course, they can smell all this shit that we left. They would go eat it. And now they know where we're at because they started picking up human scent. As the story goes on, they end up getting closer to our little camps and societies and whatever you want to call it, but we started feeding them, and then they became less and less aggressive to us. Then they were protecting us from other, because I mean, you weren't being hunted by really other people back then. It was fucking animals.
Right.
So we created this bond where when we were sleeping, they would be our first line of defense to wake us up. So now we're like, fuck, we need these dudes. So now we're taking really good care of them and treating them even better. And I just think that whole story is pretty cool. But I tell her that all the time about him. Like, can he eat that? I'm like, the reason he's like a cis-ass mama's boy dog that he is because we train him. Those dogs are wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Every dog, whether it's your little border collie or whatever, it all came from wolves. So it was, I love that kind of stuff anyways, but yeah, I cried. So that's my way to break into our first video. I hope we make it. I hope this all goes well. We're trying to get to fucking YouTube here. I've got my phone plugged into the board. I've tried this before and it was successful, but not with you. So it was just me and Savvy, and Savvy's sitting there like, she was like falling asleep and shit. I'm like, hey, babe, do you want to?
Like me right now.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, man. Thanks for bringing the fucking noise.
Thanks for the dog story.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, now you're definitely.
No, it's interesting because I'm thinking about getting into a dog. And for our house, I just haven't decided what.
I think you need a service dog for you.
I know. I'm a mess. But I just don't know what I want. Me and Dylan have been talking about it, but yeah, nothing has came about just yet.
It's a time thing, dude. It's so much of a time thing, and then always keep in consideration, which I don't think a lot of people do, but like going out of town. What's the dog gonna do when you guys go to Chicago next time?
Right.
And so there's that, and it's like they're so cool to have around, and it's another expense.
Right.
He has that disease still. We are going out to Colombia, where the one doctor that does that surgery specializes and has a lot of
for his paw. For his,
yeah. So it's a cyst on his spine. I want to say ALS, but I think that's Lou Gehrig's disease.
Don't look at me.
I don't know why I looked at you like you were. Oh yeah, you stupid.
I'm
ass.
off work. Dude. Yeah. I don't know nothing right now.
But it is a disease. And yeah, so he's got a cyst on his spine, which is interrupting the signal from his brain to his paw. So yeah, it's not going to get any better. So, but okay, so there is another expense. He's kind of like a child. The motherfucker went to therapy today. So when he goes to therapy, he gets in a tank. They lock the door behind him. They fill it up with water, and there's a treadmill underneath of it. And he walks because it's less impact on his joints.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds expensive.
And you stand at the end of the thing. They have leads all over him so he can't jump out because he will jump out. And you feed him treats the whole time. Jeez. Then he goes to massage therapy where he gets big ass coffee cups, which is almost like a soup bowl, but they put peanut butter or cheese in it, freeze it, so it gives him something to do. So he just, I mean, cup after cup after, he gets like 6 cups in the 20. Look at him. Yeah, cool. Motherfucker, I do.
He knows you're talking about him.
And then he has red light therapy where you have to put on these stupid glasses so the infrared light doesn't bother you, and then they run it up and down his back. I'm like, they're just rubbing the dog. These people they're nice people, and I'm sure it works, but they're basically just petting my fucking dog for...
How long is he in there for?
Oh, I don't know, an hour and a half or something.
How many times a week?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's once a month or twice a month.
Okay.
But again, going back to the point is that it's another expense, and you know, you got to be ready for it because you don't know your dog. That dog is a purebred. I've got papers on him. He's AKC registered. His bloodline so and so is some champion fucking dog, which that could all be made up too. But.
Right. Well, my big thing was just working 2 to 3 jobs until recently, you know. So that finally frees up some time for me. But yeah, the going out of town and all that. I got a lot of neighborhood kids. I'm not worried about any of that. I just want to find the one that I get along with the best.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and that you don't know.
No.
You don't know until you know. And it's always like those dogs that are like the best dogs.
Right.
Unless you have a lot of time for training. They're the best dogs in the world when they're like 8 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you get, and he's
how old is he?
5.
5.
He's great. But you know, when I've talked about this on here before, so I won't go into it, but when I worked nights, everything I had planned out just completely went out. I got a call one night and she's like, he swallowed a sock. I'm like, well, if he was in his crate,
right,
like I told you he needs to be, well, how could he swallow a sock? Well, it's all right, so we took him out of the fucking crate. I'm like, well, then you got to deal with a dog that swallowed a sock.
Right.
But it all worked out. So yeah, dude, it's not like a decision you should make. Just
no.
know?
I've been thinking about this for a long time.
What are you thinking? Working. Like what kind of dog?
Man, I have no idea. Honestly,
you need
all
a
across
calm
the board.
dog. I think a calm dog would fit you well.
I do too.
Right? Because the spun out dog, when you get home, you're a dude.
Because I'm already spun out.
Right. You're a dude much like me who wants to fucking zoop.
Yep.
When you get home, give me like 15.
Right.
So you got Dylan who right away wants you, needs you, wants to talk and tell you about his day. And then the dog come in. And the fucked up thing is that they're just so happy to be around us.
Right.
And we're like, you fucking calm down, you know? And it's like, no one likes me as much as my dog.
Right.
But then when I get home, I'm like, you sit down. So like...
and you're the meanest to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wants you the most.
I think like maybe golden retriever or something I could see for you.
Yeah.
Because they just want to like put their head in your lap and just love you, you know?
I know. I wish I could have like the best of both worlds. So maybe I need like 2, you know?
What's the best of both worlds?
Well, just one that's up and at him and then one that's not, you know? But
yeah, but probably the one will take
off.
the other one's trait.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even themselves out.
Yeah. I always think, and you know, it was a decision to get that kind of dog, but I'm not here at nights.
Right.
You know, so that was the deal. But even a golden retriever or whatever dog is going to tell you if someone's outside.
Yeah.
You know, golden retrievers don't just sleep through it. They're not that type of motherfucker that jumps out a window after somebody. But
right.
So it's one of those deals. But yeah, I mean, I think.
Besides dogs, what else is going on?
My credit card got hacked. Oh, my debit card, not even my credit card. So check this out. Let's get into my shit.
Okay. Yeah, because you were really quiet when I got here. So
yeah,
I'm like kind of timid asking you questions. I feel like you're going to blow.
No. I don't know what that was.
Okay.
He makes when you are coming over. That's a thing. That's where I failed my dog, is that when people come over, they have to deal with them for a few minutes, and I don't like that because I know you, and I know you don't want to deal with it for a few minutes.
No, I do though. I like him.
All right. Well, I read the room wrong.
Yeah.
So I am going to work Saturday morning.
Okay.
And I get a notification from my bank that said there was a. Help me out with the wording. There was a purchase that was made that was out of the ordinary. However they worded it.
Right.
It wasn't around you where you live. Was it you?
Fraudulent charge.
Fraudulent, yeah. Was it you?
Right.
I'm like, so I look up, see what it is. It's a Zoomies and a Dick's Sporting Goods in Knox, Missouri. Knox, Knox. Listen up, Leanne from Knox, Missouri, you fucking bitch. So it's I could pull it up on my phone, but my phone's recording right now. It's a pair of fucking fat girl sandals from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Shut up.
In Knox, Missouri for $148, these fucking sandals. Well, so the second charge at Zoomies, they denied it. What's that word? They denied it.
Oh,
Declined.
Declined, yeah.
They declined it because I think obviously they were like, you know, this guy doesn't live down here.
Right.
So right away they froze everything, which is cool. I'm glad that the bank did that. So I get a hold of the bank and they're like,
I was gonna say they're not used to a charge being over $100 on your card.
Fuck no. $10.
That's why they shut it down.
Yeah, $20 a Quick Trip sounds about right.
I was thinking back in the day.
Dude.
Filling up for $7.
Yeah. So here's a real kick in the ass. I'm getting emails from Dick's Sporting Goods. I do shop at Dick's. It's right here at Mid Rivers Mall. I do shop there, so they have my email address.
Sure.
I'm getting fucking emails about we're getting your order ready. It'll be shipping soon. It has on there the girl's name. That's why I said Leanne. And it has her fucking address. So I like look up where her house is. This is a trip. It's just south of Springfield.
Okay.
We were just not far from Springfield when we went to Branson. Matter of fact, I'm sure I bought something in Springfield.
Shut the front door.
Yeah, so it was like when my card was, the way I see it, and I don't know how the cyber shit works, but like if you make a transaction, especially online, your number and all your information starts flying that way.
Right,
There's some fucking losers with a net.
Sure.
They reach up and grab your shit. We're all a soft target, right? So I it's not a big deal. And luckily they didn't wipe me out, you know.
Right.
The whole fucking.
I was gonna say, were you already in the red after the first?
No, dude, I'm good. I got my own savings.
That's why
account
they
now
shut off the second one.
Yeah, they're like, bitch,
you're already in the red.
You just didn't have the money. No, I'm doing all right, but yeah, luckily she didn't take the pile of money I fucking have. But
so then you got to redo all that stuff.
Well,
you're probably still waiting on stuff.
Don't have my card.
Right.
Luckily, Alicia's got one of those cards, so I'm able to use hers. So they didn't freeze the account; they froze the card.
Right.
Which I already cut up and shit. But so yeah, they're. I called Dick's Sporting Goods. Their headquarters is in Pennsylvania somewhere.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, listen, I have the order number. I got this lady's address.
Right.
Like, what do you got? I want. And the lady was asking me, she's like, well, all right, so you want us to decline this purchase? I said, yeah, absolutely. I'm like, it's not that big of, I'm not all that pissed about her taking money from her. But I sure don't want her to get her fucking sandals.
Right.
The lady's like, I get it, you know. So she said she was going to put a note on the account saying that purchase was not blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so if I have her address, like, do you guys want to get a hold of law enforcement? I mean, it's not a felony, but like you could still knock on her door.
All right.
They're like, well, that's not actually what we do if our fraud department catches up. I'm like, okay. Then I talked to Bank of America, and I'm like, because now at this point, I'm like, fuck it. I'd rather somebody go knock on her door and say, hey, asshole, wherever you got this information from, knock it off. And dude, I Googled her house. She's got a way nicer house than I do.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, well, maybe that's how she got a nice house, was stealing shit.
Right.
But I called Bank of America and I'm like, hey, listen, man, I have all of her address. I've seen her house. I know where she lives. I could just drive there.
Right.
It's not that far. Springfield, right.
Right now.
YouTube it. Springfield ain't that fucking far.
Right.
Because then if I stole her package off the porch, it wouldn't really be stealing. It'd be my shit. fucking fat girl sandals. And they are too, dude. You can tell. They're not cool. It's like nothing, no, like hot
So
chick
she
would
can
wear.
bake some bread in there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I talked to U.S. Bank. They're like, well, if you would like to get a hold of your local police department and file charges. I'm like, I'm not filing charges on a $212, whatever the amount was in total. Like, I'm not going through that. I just want her to know she's fucked, you know?
Yeah. You're being watched.
Yeah. We're on to you. Well, hopefully her purchase, you know, her fat girl sandals didn't show up, and then at least
So I'm sure Bank of America already refunded you all that.
Not yet.
They will. They should.
Yeah, but the fucker
Stuff
about that
happens
is
all the time now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not. The cybersecurity and shit, especially with big banks like that, it's pretty good. So I'm not that freaked out about it. But when they freeze your card now this is the problem: is that I got to go back my Amazon account. I got to put in new information for that. And it's like, these are first world problems, of course, but it's still a pain in my fucking ass to have to deal with. You know,
it's all because someone else decided to deter your path. You know?
But it's not a bad gig, dude. Let's say this is how it works.
Is that the worst thing that happened this weekend?
Yeah.
That's it.
You thought it was worse?
Oh yeah.
No, fuck it. My life ain't too bad anymore, man. Really? I don't talk to anybody. I stay out of trouble. I just like do my own thing, go to work. But let's say this is how it works. Let's say I give you $50 and you give me 5 or 10 accounts worth of paperwork, right? So you give me 10 card numbers, expiration dates, I mean, if you're a fucking thief, it ain't a bad gig. None of them might work, but one of them might.
If one does.
Yeah, so maybe you get yourself a $300 pair of fat girl sandals and then call it a day. So it's like, I get it, man. But looking at her house pissed me. I'll show you when we get done. It's like an all brick, like nice house. And I mean, I have an alright house, but it's like, this one's fucking nice, you know? But it makes me want to take a left when I go down to Springfield next time and go, hey, Leanne, you like your fucking sandals? You know, you're welcome, bitch.
So did they go there? Did they get
I don't know. I didn't get it. I did not get a confirmation on receive, you know, the drop off. So I hope somehow with them putting the note in the account, at least she didn't get her stuff. But
she probably did.
I'm guessing she did. And I hope she has fun. God, and I'm going to egg her house. I'm going to egg, I'm going to. Well, no, I'm not going to do anything.
Here on video.
I'm going to post this on. There you go. The motherfucker was threatening people. Right. Yeah, that's about it.
First show.
You know what else I started doing too? My Cash's lacrosse coach is a chiropractor, but he's jacked and plays like adult lacrosse.
Sure.
So it's like easy to take advice from him. You know. So I'm just sitting here not doing it right now, but. It's weird because he wants me to sit up more straight.
Yeah.
Sit up straight, but relax. I don't know what that means. And then breathe out of your belly because it's supposed to just all core stuff. And so like when I'm at work, I'm trying to like be conscious about the way I sit. But like we went and did something the other night and I'm trying to sit up straight. And everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying to sit up straight and fix my back. But
how's that working out?
It does when I can
when you do it,
but I can't. You can't always sit around.
No, and even sitting
weird.
like this forever, it's just
And these are a lot like the chairs we have at work.
Yeah.
So you just constantly, but it has been feeling better since I've been doing my homework and stretches. I've been better at it.
If you could have a new body part, what would you?
Lower back, for sure.
Same.
Well,
it's terrible. Lower back, same. The same as you, lower back.
Yeah, probably lower back. Get a big wiener out of the deal. I mean, is that part of the question? No, I'm all right. I'm all right with what I got because I think anything else it'd just be a pain in the ass. But anyway, yeah, probably lower back. Yeah, my right knee's starting to go fuck too, but
it sucks getting old.
Yeah. So what's going on with you? Why are you so stressed out tonight, sweetheart?
It's just a lot. I mean, life. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't feel like doing something, you know, and then you just do it, and I don't know. It's just stressed out. Like
work.
I mean, I mean, work stressed me out, and then I'm like, well, shit. Now I got to go over here to do this, you know. And I mean, coming over here, I was just all pissed off. Like hit every single traffic. I'm sick of driving, you know, that whole stuff.
Yeah.
So, getting on the 44, some idiot turned over a tractor trailer and then had to go on the back roads. And then every single thing I hit was just
and the construction going on
construction, all this. So I don't know why traffic usually doesn't piss me off too much, but I guess it was just after the day.
It's a combination of things, right?
Yeah. And then there's a rich guy, I work for members of a country club. This rich guy, he needs to be answered right this second, right when I'm walking out the door, So I just sent him an email, call my cell phone, doesn't call, but I'm the whole way here, I'm waiting for him to call, and it's just.
Yeah, because he's going to call right when you get into doing what you're doing.
Right, he's probably calling right now. Who knows? I don't know. Don't really care now.
Yeah. What would be an example of what he needs to know if his membership
just doesn't know how to add. I mean, I billed him X amount of dollars for an assessment we had, and he thinks it's off and whatever. It's just he changed his mind so many times. You could pay it in 3 months or you could pay it in 48 months, but then he wanted to pay it in 2 months. He just kept switching his mind. So credits. So I'd have to give credits to his account, bill it back. And then
he's trying to scam
you. He started getting a hold of the gal who works for me, and then she kept emailing. I said, just say this. It's right there,
Is he trying to steal a pair of Fat Girl sandals?
I don't know what the hell
he's probably trying to steal something.
I mean, it's $1,000 for him is like probably nothing, people are just pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And they stress me out.
Yeah.
And others.
I hear you.
Yeah. What's going on with the kids' sports world? Everyone's doing good in that?
I talked to Cash today.
Okay.
And I was on FaceTime and I saw this it was like a little scratch or something on his chin.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what happened to you, man? Did you get in a fight? He was like, no, not that one, but this one is. I got in that one's from. I'm like, what?
Oh.
I was joking. He's 12. He'll be 13 in March.
He's young.
I didn't think he was fighting. So I said, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, we've never talked about that. We talk about pretty much everything,
Sure.
So I would have thought he might have mentioned that, but he said they were out and some kids started talking about his mom. I'm like, okay. So I know when you're younger that it can really push buttons, but it's like, again, I'm just putting my kids on blast here. Again, that kind of shit can get you kicked off the football team.
Right.
I said, well, how'd you do? I mean, it's already done and over with.
Was it at football?
No. This was out he was with his buddy. They were out. I'm not going to put too much out there, but they were out and about, and the kid was in high school. He's a freshman in high school.
Really?
Cash is going into 7th grade. I said, how did it go? He's like, I mean, he didn't have much to say after that. I'm like, well, so you got the better of you can't really say beat somebody up because they're kids, but you got the better of a freshman in high school. He was like, yeah, dude, he didn't have a chance. I'm like, all right, man. And he said, Dad, the reason why I didn't really tell you is because I didn't want you to get mad, but I was defending myself. I didn't start it. And I said, well, then I can't get mad at you because that's exactly what I told you to do. You or your sisters, you get in trouble or someone who can't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
You getting in trouble for that equals no trouble from me. If in fact you were for real doing the right thing.
Right.
If I find out otherwise, then me and you got a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're doing the right thing or sticking up for your sisters, well, when it comes to your sisters, pretty much anything.
I don't get it. He's 12, right?
Yeah.
Going on 13. Man,
Yeah.
I just don't remember being that aggressive or, I just feel like kids are fighting more now, younger, or picking on people.
I was back then.
You were?
Yeah.
It
was little kid
I was
shit,
about
though.
15, though.
It was little kid stuff. But so I can't really be too mad at the dude because I did talk to his buddy, and his buddy verified. They could, of course, be telling me some fucking...
Well, then they're probably better than us.
Yeah.
At that age.
Yeah. So I wasn't all that... but I told him, I'm like, dude, this kind of stuff can get you kicked off the team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm letting you know, and he was like, yeah, but you told me to... You're right. I did. And I'll ride with you on that forever. But just so you know, once you get to high school, and even now, I'm sure, they play junior Bulldogs football. So it's through the school, but not at school. Right. Like you can risk it all because some dude had some stupid shit to say about your mom.
Right.
I get that part too, mama's boy, but you're going to get yourself in trouble and not be able to play. He's like, I know. I'm like, dude. So everything is starting.
A week?
Yeah.
A little less than a week?
Well, they have a jamboree this Saturday.
What's that?
I just learned this last year.
St. Charles is different. I know that.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna butcher this a little bit, but kind of my weird, rough, rudimentary understanding is the kids, and I think this is in high school too, but the kids are only allowed to be practicing so many times a week.
Sure.
School sponsored event, like with a coach, under supervision, all that stuff.
Okay.
Right? And it's something to do with they're only allowed, somebody listening to this, if anybody's listening to this, thanks, but they're going, you fucking idiot. They're only allowed to play so many games a season.
Right.
Your season is 8 games or whatever it is. That's what you're. So this jamboree from other people I know that are into kids sporting, like coaching, it's a way for them to get an extra game in that isn't quite on. It's not a recorded game really. So win, lose, or draw. It's a warm up game.
Right.
But calling it a jamboree is a way for them to wiggle through like rules.
Right.
Everyone knows about it and everyone does.
Right.
So it's not like it's illegal or against the rules or they just wouldn't let it happen. But it's a way for them to get another kind of preseason game.
Right. I get it.
Is the deal. So that's Saturday. So luckily it's early in the morning because I'm going to get off work at 5, stay up for a few hours, and then go to the game.
And then when does he start regular season? A couple weeks after
I don't
that?
know.
Or?
I don't. They haven't even come out with the whole schedule yet.
You have to let me know. I want to go see.
Or if they have come out with the whole schedule, I don't know it.
Probably.
There's a whole new program for the parent portal thing this year. I don't know what it is. Alicia's like, we got to get you on the portal. I'm like, but do we?
So, yeah, I've been dealing with that this week because my ex-wife, she, has the passwords and all this stuff.
We
and
talked
I had
about
them at
this,
one point. We talked about this
a
already?
little bit, yeah. But
yeah,
whatever.
it's still going. I'm like, hey, on Wednesday, can you show me? Because I don't know. Every time I go into it, it's like you're not recognized or whatever. I don't know. I was like, damn it. But I don't know. Somehow I get lunch money in there somehow. Sometimes.
Well, I don't know about that school district, but ours went through a whole new thing. So, but yeah, she's like, we got to get you on that portal. And I'm thinking to myself, I just think you're so much better at handling this shit. But I hate saying that, but it's just like, oh, I had to do that the other day. This threw me for a loop, making those calls, making phone calls like we were talking about last time. It's just not, it's my weakest suit that I have.
Right.
I don't want to fucking call and talk to me. Press 1 if you press 1. Sorry, we didn't understand that. Say customer service representative. So you want to speak to the customer service, and it gets to a point where I'm like, fuck it, never mind, man. Right. And I'll put the phone down and go do something else or nothing else. But yeah, that's been going on.
Yeah.
And just dealing with it.
Not too bad.
Cheer is going today. Chevelle had to go model bows. This is, they model bows.
What does that mean?
A bow for a cheerleader, a bow in your hair.
I thought you were saying bows and you're pointing at these. I'm like,
no. Are
they sponsored?
Model the bows for the thing or something. I don't know. And then flag football for Savvy is not happening yet.
Okay.
So,
and do they do that in school?
No, that's through the NFL.
No shit.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. NFL does it. It's, so they're called like the Shula Chargers.
Okay.
Or the
like old head coaches or whatever.
Yeah. Who's the one? Madden Colts, shit like that. Marino, blah blah blah.
And it's pretty competitive, huh?
No. It isn't. I mean, it's flag football, so like you can't truck people. But
dude, you feel like the cops are looking at you with this thing?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh,
bright, man.
Well, but I've been trying to learn about lighting, and without having something overhead, which I don't. And then there are podcasts that do well that like the dudes are basically sitting in the dark with something like that going. You're right. Let's just talk about it. Yeah. I'm overthinking it.
You are.
I just want it to be good,
Yeah.
But could it be good without that stupid fucking halo light? Yeah. I didn't need to spend $45 on that.
Is that what you did?
Yeah. No, I bought that a long time ago.
Okay.
There we go. Another fucking interruption.
Huh,
So my whole plan went to shit, you know? My whole plans went to shit. Echo's been on every episode since I've started.
Do you like the light?
No, I don't want to fucking... Yeah, you're right. You're looking at me a question. You
Now
want me
you
to turn
can't
it
stop
off?
looking at it.
Fuck it.
I'm just going to go ahead and take over the show then.
Yeah.
You good with that? All right, Echo, come here. See, that is... Yeah.
Go nuts.
Yeah, it's probably better now. Where's the candle we used to have?
Oh, it's under there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah. Feel better. You?
Hey, we're back.
Now I feel relaxed.
I'm not cutting that out either.
No, I don't care.
You want to turn that line off?
No, this is good.
All right.
This is a lot better.
Maybe that thing will show a little better.
Man, it might.
I know, dude.
Seeing spots.
I know I overthink it, but
It's all good. That's what we do. You know?
I got to try, though. You're sure not overthinking it.
Well, no.
You're barely sitting in that chair.
I overthink. Yeah, I know. I literally overthink.
I can't count on you for shit.
It's crazy because, like, I feel like the thing I'm overthinking the most now is my job. That's what I'm overthinking on. You know what I mean? I always have something that I'm overthinking on.
Yeah.
And currently, right now, it's my job. So then when I come over here, I'm like, I don't even know what the hell we're going to talk about or what. I just haven't even thought about it because I'm overthinking something else. And then if I start overthinking this, I won't know what to say. And,
well, but I did tell you that. I just need you to show up
I don't see why.
and feed off of me.
Okay.
Which has been working, and that's what I'm saying. So now, all right, let's just get into it. So I gotta like go, okay, if Browse has nothing because he just got off of work pressing buttons and looking at numbers all day,
Right.
how am I gonna keep this thing going?
Right.
Then I gotta figure out, am I gonna start editing all this stuff like the video, which I want to get into anyways, but I don't have a fucking credit card to buy the software or the debit card. Anyway, and then so I start thinking about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I want it to be good. And I want it to be done well. But what does that mean? Does that just mean us having fun? Because to me, that was supposed to be the goal.
Absolutely.
My deal on this was to have fun and try to help people along the way.
Yeah, maybe say something that someone can relate to or
Right.
whatnot.
So if anyone's tuning in for help,
I mean, I don't think
stand
I don't
by.
think at this point you need to worry about like a fancy background or a cactus in the corner or whatever. You know, just
You're so right. I don't.
I think like overthinking it is just there's too much pressure. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'm sure everybody who does podcasts probably goes through this too.
No, they
You
have a
know?
nerd to do it all.
Well, I'm just saying.
And I say
like,
that in
I'm
the
saying
best
like
way.
overthinking though.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what should our background be? You know, does it look like this or whatever? You know, I'm sure they do that. But yeah, then someone else finally says, "All right, dude," and you know. But now, at this point, you just got to let it go.
Well, I'm trying to skip the steps.
Yeah.
I
I wanted to be a rock star without playing guitar. Dude.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I didn't want to practice. I just wanted to get on stage and do okay enough to like
just get chicks.
get chicks for
Yeah.
the night or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, and have fun and
I
party
think-
and whatever. That's, I mean, I wanted all the easy shit,
Yeah.
you know?
I think Slipknot should have called me. They just got another new drummer. I think they should have called me. But the problem there is that I don't know how to play drums.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I'm trying to skip that step.
Right.
But I relate it to like jujitsu. I'm still a fucking one stripe white belt in jujitsu. I haven't trained in a long time, but
Right. I'm sorry, what was that? White belt jiu-jitsu?
yeah,
White belt jiu-jitsu. Okay.
even if you went into an academy with a black belt on, you're immediately found out because there's certain things black belts.
Sure.
My point is, you know, whoever you want to talk about in the podcasting world didn't get there the first. I'm only at fucking 30 something episodes. So yes, you're right. I expect a lot of myself, and
And we're not going to run out of stuff to talk about. Stuff happens every day, you know? You ever worried about that?
well, what have you brought up today?
Nothing.
What have you brought to the
Have I
table?
had
Let's
to?
see. I need you to bring something to the. No, you just brought up the whole thing about the lights. That was good
Yeah?
because it's true. You're right. You're right. It's true. We're gonna do it in the fucking dark next week.
I didn't mean to like laugh when you said jujitsu white belt. I was just like trying to wrap my head like you did. When did you do jujitsu?
A few
I
years
can't
ago.
even say that damn word.
Jiu-jitsu?
I didn't know.
You didn't?
Oh no, I didn't talk to you really.
Yeah,
I mean, it just seemed like it was out of nowhere. That's why it kind of just threw me off a little bit, and I laughed. I didn't mean because it was a white belt.
No, I don't give a fuck about that. I didn't earn any more than that, but it was the correlation between like the years that it takes to be good at something. You know, so you can't just like go in somewhere and be Slipknot's drummer. You gotta play the drums.
No, I get it, but that's what I wanted, and I almost got there doing it with music, and I didn't want to put in the work.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. So this is putting in the work. This is it right now. Grinding it out,
just being yourself, and I think at this point, you know, and shit'll fall into place, you know.
And I think there's probably a part of it that's like,
for us both to be alive and just sit here talking isn't enough.
Good point, sir. Yeah. But there's this part of it about like, I don't know. I don't think like ashamed. But just wanting it to be kind of professional, you know? Well, because I'm one of those people where when you dress a certain part, you know, you dress for the job you want, not the one you have. And I feel like if you look good and things are in order, you'll be taken more seriously and all that stuff, which I do believe, and I think it's true. But there's also a part of the learning process and the curve and all that shit that I'm still a part of. And then me and you just starting this. Right. This is basically a brand new deal, except that I kind of know how to use some of this stuff.
Well, it's kind of crazy because even over this last week, there was a couple things I thought about, like, dude, this would be fun to talk about with Dominic or whatnot, you know, and I just didn't write them down. Maybe I need to write down a thing or two and then just, you know, but
I do the note app in my phone. It comes with iPhone.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I think I deleted it off the whole thing.
No, it's a default one, so you can get it back.
All right.
Anyway, so last night when I'm crying with the fucking dogs, I reach over and grab my phone and I'm typing in it. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm taking notes because I was crying about the goddamn dogs and me and Browse are gonna laugh at it tomorrow." She's like, "That's a good idea."
Right.
And that's just how I do it. Well, when I'm going through my daily bullshit, I'll go, "Oh, fucking whatever," and I'll just type it in real quick, and then I usually pull my notes up and just have them sitting here.
Yeah.
But instead of that today, I just wrote it down.
Yeah. We came prepared.
Yeah. What I think, but you don't do social media, or you do some current events though, right? Like you watch news and shit. You're old.
I mean, I like pull up the news app every once in a while. I listen to a lot of like sports or look at stats.
See, you could teach me stuff about that. I don't know anything about sport. Ask me how many games are in a football season. I think it's 18. I think the football season's 18 weeks.
It was 16, then they went to 17. I don't know if it was 18.
I don't know shit.
But I think they talked about going to 18. I don't know about that. It's a possibility.
I might be right as a motherfucker.
I know a lot about baseball, but I don't know. Just
I might be able to hang with you on baseball, but yeah, you're probably a statistic guy, which I don't know.
No.
Have you ever been to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
No, but my dad and I were just actually talking about that. He was just telling me places he wanted to go to, and that was one of them because we were watching a game over at my nephew's birthday party on Sunday. That's what I did on Sunday. Went to his birthday party, and I think the Red Sox were playing. And Fenway is just a cool stadium, you know. Or maybe there was a highlight from there, and he's like, "Sure. I want to go there." And then I like said it at the same time. Then he was like, "It'd be nice to go over to the Baseball Hall of Fame."
Well, while you're up at Fenway, yeah, just kind of hang a northwest thing.
Yeah,
Cooperstown's fucking dope.
So you've been?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. So Alicia's dad, Dan, the lawyer dad.
I heard Dan. Is he the one with the Corvettes?
No, that's Mark.
Mark.
Her dad, Dan, when he was a kid, he grew up wherever down in the city. And his mom, it's fun. I should get him on here, but like he smokes a lot and coughs a lot. So it'd be fucking fucked up audio. Listen to me going back to being professional. His mom would give him, it's some crazy number that you could totally imagine back then, but it's like 37 cents.
Okay.
And that would get him a round trip bus ticket, Coke and a hot dog, and the ticket to the game itself when they were playing at what was it? What was the Checker Field or some shit before Bush? This was back Negro League.
You're talking about here?
Yeah.
Oh,
St. Louis.
Sportsman Park.
Yeah.
Sportsman's Park. Yeah.
So I said the word Negro Leagues, and at the time that's what it was called. I'm already fucking.
You're overthinking.
I'm canceled here, but So no shit, he would ride the bus because it was cheaper to ride the bus with the and he said it was some of the coolest conversations he's ever had with dudes because that was professional ball, right?
Yeah.
So
Sportsman Park?
Yeah. It was St. Louis Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
So he would sit and talk to these players like the whole way down. They go, "What are you doing on this bus by yourself?" And he to tell, and so he's a baseball fanatic.
That's awesome.
Always has been. Met a bunch of the cool Gibson and shit's his favorite player and all that.
Oh,
So
man, he'd be one I would want to see.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
he just had that, mentality.
well, and the fact that they like changed the pitching mound due to him, Bob Gibson.
I'd have to read that. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he threw so hard. We'll have to
raise it up.
Yeah. But Gibson changed the pitching of Major League Baseball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Dan's turning 70. Alicia's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about something." "What's up?" She's like, "Something I want to take him to the Hall of Fame." I was like, "You should definitely do that." She's like, "Well, I want you to go too." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Normally I'm not invited to shit. Right. So we get that all squared away. She got this VIP thing. There is a movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but this movie was basically kind of shot at, or these people stayed at the Cooperstown Inn. It's a famous hotel.
Okay. Yeah.
It's really small. Now we would call it an Airbnb, but back then it's like a big hotel. VIP thing. He gets a bat engraved.
Really?
VIP tour after the museum closes.
Sure.
Couple drinks. Then they took us. So she gets this whole VIP thing set up for the day.
Yeah.
We go from here to Cleveland, did the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, you did?
Fucking
We were
amazing.
talking about that too over the weekend.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy because he was saying about going up that way and hitting those.
This trip is pretty cool because you can hit some really gnarly shit. So we did Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I don't even think you need to be into rock and roll. I think everyone likes music. I've never met a person who doesn't like it. That's a crazy fucking thing for me.
But it's just insane or what?
Dude, it's so well done. And apparently it got a facelift like not long before we had gotten there.
Really?
It's fucking phenomenal. Like ZZ Top's drum kit, guitars are all there. I saw Eric Clapton's fucking guitar. Like, it's just wild. It brought me back. My mom was still alive then, so I was showing her photos, sending her photos, all this like Tom Petty and shit. Like all the Heartbreakers stuff was. It was fucking rad, dude. So yeah, we did the Hall of Fame. It was fucking awesome, and then we went up to Niagara Falls, New York.
Really?
Did Niagara Falls?
Is it just you three?
Yeah, man. Just
that's awesome.
Us three tripped out in his Blazer and just took off up there.
Really,
dude.
That is awesome.
I'll say it because he'll never hear this. It was rough, dude. Yeah. So he's been an on and off smoker his whole life.
Okay.
And he's went from like, let's say cigarettes to cigars to pipe.
Sure.
He was on pipe. Now, if you are at a barbecue and your grandpa or uncle is sitting over there smoking a pipe, and you get a whiff of it, you're like, damn, dude, that smells good.
Right, right.
Motherfucker, get stuck. And this was, when did everything shut down? This was like on our way back, COVID, everything was done.
Really?
I think the day or two after we left the Hall of Fame, the Cooperstown, it shut down for COVID.
No way.
We like fucking just made it, dude.
That is crazy.
But sitting in that vehicle, us both being non-smokers, everything stinks, dude. It was rough, and I love this guy so much. Yeah. He's such a good dude.
So he was on the pipe then?
Yeah, he was smoking big pipe tobacco, dude. It was like, holy and every time. And it was cold, so you didn't just have the windows down. You know what I mean?
No. He's just barely cracking it filling it up.
Oh, dude, it was a tough yeah, we were smoking that thing out, dude. But so and he's an attorney at the time. So we had to tell him we were going out of town. He wouldn't be there from this date to that date, so he could figure out his cases and tell his clients and leave people in jail and all kinds of other shit.
That might have been one of them.
While he's fucking, no shit. But he didn't know where we were going. Mm-hmm. This is something he's wanted to do his whole life as a lifelong baseball fan. So she sets this whole thing up. We finally get up there, and of course it kicks in. He's like, where are we going? I just saw a sign. I think it said Cooperstown. He obviously knows we're in New York. We went to fucking Niagara Falls. So I know he caught on, but he let her have her. So we go pulling into Cooperstown Inn, and he was like, are you fucking kidding? Because the whole time up there, he was telling us about this movie. It's a real famous movie. You know what it is if I had the name of it. But oh man, they filmed it at this Cooperstown Inn, and it's this really cool old hotel, and it's got like this. And he was explaining the place, like he could have drawn it, you know. And I'm like, holy fuck,
crazy.
So me and her the whole time were like, he already fucking knows, you know. So when we pull in, he just tripped out, and he's like, "Are you guys kidding me?" You know, like, yeah, that's where we're staying, man. So we get up, we have a room on one side of the hallway, he's on the other. His bat, his VIP passes, they had like some other cool fucking.
Right.
Just for him, even though it's like all his stuff, but man, fucking dude cried. And Alicia's like, I have never ever seen him be emotional. He was hugging us and shit.
That is so cool.
It was so
that was for his 70th birthday.
Yeah. It was so worth it. Dude. Yeah. But so we went I think we got 2 days.
Yeah.
Like we went the one night, got to just walk around like normal people.
Okay.
And then the next day we went, they took us back in this room. And so we had to wear gloves, because they were like some of the stuff you could actually hold, like a bat.
Right.
Okay. All right. Who's dude? Pittsburgh Pirates. This fucking guy, I can't believe
Roberto Clemente.
Roberto fucking Clemente. They had like his hat there. You know,
didn't even give me a description.
I know. I
told you I know a little bit.
Yeah, dude. Well, when I saw it sitting up on the table, I'm like, I guarantee you that's Clemente's hat. His dad was like, her dad was like, hell yeah, you know. But the Honus Wagner baseball cards, these cards are worth. Well, some of them are priceless. I think. Yeah. I think Wagner might be but like, it's dope. There are these little boxes that these cards are set in. Mm-hmm. They can't just be out in the normal light.
Right.
It would deteriorate the paper that they were printed on. When were those? When was Honus Wagner?
Oh God, that was
20s, 30s,
20s or 30s, something. Yeah.
So that paper is just dog shit. So they're like in these cases. So what you do is you go up to this little box and hit this button, and this real dim light comes on for like 15 seconds, and then it goes out.
Really?
You can hit it as many times as you want, but they won't just leave the light on, you know. So you're seeing stuff that like David Freese, when he hit that ball playoffs, that was playing the fucking Cardinals.
They had that out there too?
Dude, the Cardinals are represented well. I mean,
are they?
We've got a lot. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We've got a lot of World Series, but we're represented really well. Yeah.
Interesting.
One of Babe Ruth, like they had.
You sold me. I want to go.
You got to go.
For sure.
You got to go. It's definitely.
Because, I mean, I was just tripping out when I told you I went to Field Museum, you know, like when I went up to Chicago.
Yeah.
And just seeing history. And I guess being older, you just like, you love it. I mean, that much more. It's just so cool because it's fading away too. You know, we're getting older.
Definitely.
And our kids they don't know anything about some of these people that are in the Hall of Fame or whatever, you know. But no, I think that'd be really cool. I'd probably.
You can trip out on it for like 2 days. Yeah. You should probably. It's not that the place is so huge. It's just that if you don't take kids with you, it was just us 3 adults.
Right.
Alicia would go her way, Dan would go his way, I go my way, and we just meet up later on. Yeah. But you can read so much stuff.
That's awesome. That's
Check
really
this
cool.
out. When my mom was a bartender at Casa Gallardo, which do you remember that?
Yeah, I didn't know she was a bartender.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I mean you remember the restaurant though. It used to be around St. Louis. Yeah. One of her regulars, his name was Don Shaw.
Okay.
He had been a relief pitcher for the Cardinals. Didn't stack up any numbers or win any World Series or anything crazy like that. But the dude fucking made it to the show.
Right.
So growing up, he was my favorite guy. I was a catcher, but he was my favorite guy in the world because he would tell me from a pitcher's point of view what makes a good catcher. Right. So like, and then I would go talk to my catcher or my pitcher. We're little league shit, but I'd be like, look, dude. I had this pro telling me this is what because when we started stealing bases, I was too fat to like jump up and rip down to second. So I started watching Benito Santiago from the Padres.
Okay.
Benito Santiago would just hit his knees and throw. And so I was asking my coach, I'm like, hey, I was watching this guy, and he goes like, you're talking about Benito Santiago. I know who the fuck you're talking about. I'm like, because I always took one extra step. I was always a step behind him. I could throw it. I had a good gun, but I was always a step behind him. And he's like, why don't you try it? So, I mean, me and my pitcher, and so we had a sign to pitch out. And so talking to Don Shaw all these years growing up was just the coolest thing in the world. He's like, he fucking walked out at Busch Stadium. You know what I mean? It doesn't get. So if a player had played one pitch of 1 inning in a major league game, he is in their library.
Wow.
You can find anyone, the shortest baseball player of all time, Mickey Mantle. You can find anyone and everything that they have everything that the Major League Baseball organization has on that player is in their library at fucking Cooperstown, of course.
Unbelievable.
So this dude, he meant so much to my mom. He was so good to her and always took care of her, and she took care of him. He liked Jolly Ranchers. So on our way to school, sometimes she would have to stop. We'd all run into Schnucks, get a bag because she took bartending seriously, like especially for her regulars. Yeah. So if so-and-so wanted Jolly Ranchers, she had Jolly Ranchers. This dude liked peanuts. This dude liked this dude. So she was like, yeah, dude, she was hustling. Yeah. So he was always just real important to us, and he gave us like birthday presents and shit. So when you go into the library, they're like, if you want to look anybody up, just there's librarians like waiting for you. They're like, just let us know. And I said Don Shaw, and they brought me out, and he had a shorter career and not a crazy one. So his file was a one-man job, you know. But I was able to take it out, and the baseball card that he had given me and signed when I was a kid was the one baseball card that was ever printed to him, to my knowledge. And that was the one in his folder. Really? Yeah, dude. So I was able to I took a bunch of photos and sent to my mom. I got tears, dude, quick, you know. I was always good at making her cry anyway. But
so they went and picked out his file for
you.
Yeah. Is part of the whole VIP experience and all that?
No, I think just you could do that.
Wow.
Yeah. The only thing I would say about definitely it's worth it to get the VIP, especially like if you and your dad are just going to trip out and go up there, it's fucking worth it because like I said, they'll go, all right, our VIP members, and you're wearing like a stupid thing. And you go back in that room and they show you like
that's crazy
one-time things. You'll never get to see that again. Right. Whether it's in the museum, because I was talking to the people, because I had done some of that archaeological stuff. And so I kind of understood that in museums, they have all this stuff on display, but generally there's another storage facility either there or somewhere off-site. Right. And they'll move things around. So like if you go to the art museum, the same thing's not always going to be there. It's always being shuffled around.
Yeah, you keep it fresh.
She was like, the lady was telling me like our facility and the stuff that we have is ridiculous. Like if you could, obviously she couldn't tell me anything, but she's like, there's so much stuff. How long has baseball been around?
Over 100 years, we know that.
So there's just so much stuff over the years, and, you know. But huge recommendation: Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Baseball Hall of Fame. Really? Definitely worth it.
How far apart are those?
We did like 8-hour trips. We did like 8 hours.
It wasn't like going to.
It was exactly Arizona.
But it wasn't like Arizona.
No. We were adults and we were like doing things the right way. No, so from here to Cleveland is like right at 8.
Sure.
Cleveland to Niagara, like right at 8. And then no, the last day, Niagara up to Cooperstown. But Niagara's dope too because it's right there on the water. So there's there's some cool forts and shit up there.
I've wanted to go there too.
It's dope. Yeah. And they were.
Was that the first time you seen that?
Yeah. I haven't done a lot on the East Coast much at all.
No, my grandparents were from the East Coast, and they had like a shore house on the Jersey Shore. And then they had one in Delaware too. Yeah, but it was years, ago. It was before. I mean, there were still, rides and all that stuff along the boardwalk and whatnot. I remember going as a kid, but I mean,
you've been to the Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, and the Delaware, or like then when they got older, they had like a boat and stuff in Delaware and a beach house.
Damn.
But, I mean, I was really young. I kind of like didn't.
What's up with that family money, cuz?
Oh no, they.
Were you like up in Nantucket and shit?
I think the health bills kind of swallowed all that.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I can't remember exactly what my grandma did, but I think I want to say she might have worked like for the Army or something.
Oh,
but
really?
But like in the office or something like that.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, once you get all the medical bills on her, then that probably wiped all that out.
Yeah.
But I just remember going there as a young kid, and I mean, all the way up till I was probably 10, So after that,
yeah. Well, and you'll trip out, dude. Cooperstown is like, why did they choose that area for the Hall of Fame?
Sure.
It's like up in the middle of nowhere, kind of. It's kind of country and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and then like you just.
Well, it's been there a long time, right?
A long time, but still, back then it would have been even harder to get to than it is now. But like and then there's another field right by there that I think they do Little League World Series, and they'll do like when them old timers go out there, they play at that field. It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But Cooperstown's a really small little town.
Huh.
Killer food.
Really? Was it very touristy? Like just people
Not
everywhere?
when we went. We went cold, like off season.
Okay.
So it was awesome. Like we hit.
I would rather go when there's not a lot.
Absolutely.
Of people there,
we hit everything kind of in an off season time. I'll find out. I think it was like March. I don't know why, but
right.
His birthday's in December. When did everything shut down?
March. Right about March.
Yeah, you're on target. That sounded right.
Yeah. It was right about the beginning of March, I believe.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Because when we were driving home, we were back in Cleveland
you guys just talk like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, dude. We were somewhere around Cleveland, and I remember it was on TV in this restaurant, and everybody was like buzzing about it, and I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about? And they were saying things are going to start shutting down, and sure enough, I think Alicia saw it that the Hall of Fame shut down. We left like on Saturday, Crazy. And they shut down on Monday. So we barely missed it.
4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. That was weird.
Yeah.
Weird times.
But the food up there, dude, I had these seafood ravioli because you got to figure like there's a lot of important people going up there for the ceremonies and shit.
For sure.
So that like Cooperstown's a dope little town. There's nothing, there's like, that's what's up there.
Seafood ravioli, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. It was in like this vodka sauce and shit. It was fucking killer. But Hall of Fame, not as big as you would think on the outside.
Really?
No. It's a smaller looking building, but it's fucking big. The way it's just the way they curate it, you know?
Right.
You use the space you have the best
they
you
used
can.
It right.
But dude, it was cool. And like I said, man, the Cardinals were fucking well represented. So that's even cooler when you're from a good baseball town.
Spend a day on that. Just the Cardinals.
Well, and I don't not read, but I'm not like the biggest reader. But
right.
It was easy because there's like a total of 20 people in this good sized museum. So nobody was like bumping into you. You could just stand and read some shit like an idiot for a while.
So who are you listening to now, podcast wise? I don't know why I'm thinking of that.
Matt and Shane are my favorite.
Why? Just so you can relate to them, or
I can relate to them, and they're just. I think that the way that they can just off the top come up with funny shit, and they say stuff that I'm not allowed.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to like. I'm not a comedian, but
right.
I love it so much. And the way they just talk and like their older stuff is so good, and now and I think that their story starting off just like this.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking cool how now they're filming another season of the show.
So they do seasons in podcasts now too. I noticed.
No,
that.
I'm talking about the Netflix show.
Wait, what?
It's called Tires.
Tires. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Do you have Netflix? You got Netflix.
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh.
All I got is HBO right now.
Netflix is a good one. But anyway, they're filming another season of that, and he went to Rogan. I'm going to say it. This is going to be unpopular. Rogan just came out with a new hour. I'm not into it. His comedy doesn't do it for me anymore. It used to, but I feel like I've heard. I've
watched Rogan before.
Yeah,
and I thought like he was pretty good, but then I have seen some more like recent stuff, that he does, and I don't know.
It just seems like I've heard that conversation before. Obviously, he's the fucking king, dude. He
right.
fucking started all this shit, but it's just, and it's got nothing to do with him. But like, imagine doing this 3,000 times.
Right.
James Hetfield comes on. Like, he was one of the fucking coolest ones in the past few years. James Hetfield is into bees, bumblebees, honey bees.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to hear it's fucking James Hetfield.
Right.
It's so interesting to hear him talk about
all the stuff he does to.
Bees and cars and motorcycles and shit like that. But Rogan just got Adam Sandler. And you would think after all these years he would already had him, but he didn't. And I've seen some clips of that one, and it's pretty good. Just because Sandler's so fucking cool,
Yeah.
He's in like a shitty polo and like basketball shorts,
He seems like he would be really cool.
Just the man, dude. You can tell.
Yeah.
But I've got that tinnitus thing, and that that is the ringing in your ear.
Yeah.
I got that pretty good. And it's kind of across the board, guys I know, and then other shit that I've read and heard about. But like, you want something in your ear kind of all the time, so you don't focus on that ring.
Huh.
So I just kind of always like having comedy going.
No, that makes sense. But I do it with music. I always have music all day. When I get home, I am turning on music right away. It's just the silence.
Music for sure.
You know.
Who is
which is weird. I do accounting, so I sit in silence and hear my ears ringing and then go through all this stuff in my head, you know?
Who is your still go-to, whether it is on your, like your list, your music,
what artist is
what
like
pops
Pandora
up more than anybody else?
Alice in Chains.
Really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Deftones.
Dylan likes them too.
I was gonna say Deftones for you.
No, not so much. I mean, I love Deftones.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, but Alice in Chains more like I kind of got burnt out on Stone Temple Pilots because I was listening to them for a while.
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, good stuff that's about like just dirty drugs.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, grimy shit.
Yeah. And Alice in Chains is a lot like that, but now I think I appreciate Alice in Chains more for the music than the griminess of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I missed that whole boat though of the grunge thing. I was into rap pretty good then.
Okay,
so that kind of stuff didn't. Of course, you appreciate Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam,
sure.
Nirvana. I could fucking do without. I think Dave Grohl's fucking great, but Nirvana was so overhyped, and I'm like, I used
to love them, but now I hear them anytime they come on. I'm like, skip. Unless there's like a couple songs though that I'm like, dude, this song's jamming by Nirvana. Like Rape Me, you know, like just the songs that you don't hear every time, you know.
Right.
But some of the other ones are just whatever. But I was more into like the Alice in Chains, Stone Temple Pilots. I liked Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, but I was really into Alice in Chains at one point.
Really?
And I've been back into like listening to them and
and like Rooster and shit. Of course, when that comes on, you kind of have to, you know. The story behind that's so good and stuff. But
they just had some real deep lyrics and stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I guess I just never really dove that deep into it so much. But like I said, I was on a completely different path when the grunge really hit. I was like hardcore rap. And,
oh, man. Like, I mean, people remember where they were when Kurt Cobain died, you know, when you were my age and listening to all that grunge and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
See, not being in it, I'm just like another idiot. You know, I just didn't really, it wasn't my thing. So I didn't really.
So who were you listening to then? That would have been like
No Limit.
Bone Thugs,
Tupac, Bone, Big, 3-6 Mafia. I mean,
I liked 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah, dude.
I wasn't into Tupac and all them till like later in life.
Yeah,
but back then I liked 3-6 Mafia. I just thought they were just
dirty, grimy motherfuckers.
Well, they had that show too. 3-6 Mafia did. Welcome to Hollywood.
Oh yeah. MTV or VH1 or one of those.
Yeah, it was MTV.
Yeah.
But it had like Project Pad on there.
Yeah.
Oh
Juicy.
my god, it was good. I thought it was pretty funny.
I loved all the rap and shit growing up in the 90s. I was way into it. I loved it.
Huh.
And it's so weird because like,
when'd you get into the heavier stuff? Because I know when I met you, you were like going to Slipknot concerts and whatnot, like anything heavy.
Junior, senior year.
Yeah.
More than anything. Yeah. Joey Velasco turned me on to a lot of good music.
Joey will do that. I remember driving around in his truck.
Very
and just
influential,
Yeah, very.
Well, he would show you shit you didn't know.
Right.
And so I'd be like, whoa, but.
At first it was like, whoa, but they'd be like, dude, this is kind of good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I was always like.
He had a good ear.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I was always like hard drums and guitar riffs. I mean, I guess that makes heavy metal, really.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah.
But then it's like Dime, you just know when you hear him. And and my mom was so into music. And so driving around with her, I remember how happy music would make her and how much she would jam. I'm talking like cool Stevie Ray Vaughan and REO and, you know, just Clapton.
Some Rush.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's why I liked bass guitar from listening to Geddy Lee from Rush. And then, of course, Flea from Chili Peppers. And all that. But, that's what I thought. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. And it seems like it'd be easier to learn. You know what I mean? I wanted to take kind of going full circle. Yeah. I'm thinking like, dude, I can become a rock star. I was like, I tried drums and the hand-foot coordination. That's really
a tough one, dude. Yeah.
And singing, I knew I couldn't do that. I just never thought I could be vocal or whatever like in front of people. And then, I mean, guitar, I could pick up and kind of hold a tune on guitar, but I was like, bass looks easy.
You could almost do without the basses. You know what I try to do? I think about you all the time when I do this. Like when I'm listening to music, sometimes the bass guitar is so obvious. Yeah. And sometimes it's not.
No.
And I'm like, where's the bass in that? But then I like watching live music because like, especially with the cameras and shit these days, you can see
God.
fucking everything. And so, a Bullet for My Valentine, I got into them. I got into them like this past like year and a half.
Really? I had a little point with them in my life.
I liked them like
Long
Phoenix
time.
days.
Yeah.
But then I just kind of bounced. You know, like when a song comes on, you're like, oh fuck, I forgot all about this shit. And then you just dive into it. But watching them, you know, there's so many good concerts on YouTube that you can see, and finding out where the bass comes in, you're like, oh, that bass was needed to make that guitar riff sound so tough.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And then
drums.
drums.
If you listen to the kick drum, you can hear the bass play off the kick drum all the time.
Drums. What?
Like you kind of follow the kick drum.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
When you're doing the bass, yeah.
No shit.
I think I know one thing.
And you're fucking wrong about it.
Yeah,
There's a bass guitarist going, that
I know.
motherfucker's full of shit.
Yeah. Totally.
Really?
That's why I didn't make it.
So Matt McCusker, Matt and Shane Secret Podcast.
Okay.
He's a comedian too. He has always pretty much dated black women, been married to 2 of them.
Okay.
So they were going on and on about like him being at a black wedding. He's a white Philly guy.
Okay.
So Shane is like, dude, how fucking awkward is it? You as white as you are, because he's just like going to like all black weddings. He's like, dude, it's so fucked up. It's like she always wants me to dance, and I think his wife is a former like Chicago Bulls girl, so she's a professional dancer.
Right.
So you're fucked either way. But she's always trying to pull me out on stage, and he's like hitting his vape pen and eating mushrooms and shit at these like black weddings. But he came on one of the shows one time. He was like, I was given the secret today, and I want to give it to all you white people. His wife explained to him, if you tap your feet to the beat of the drums, you're on beat.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the same as what you were saying.
For sure.
I don't know why I had to take it to black wives and black parties. But,
I'm like, where is he going with this?
But you know, he was saying too, he's like, it's not just white people that can't dance. He's like, there's black people that can't fucking dance either. So he's like, I would generally hang out with them because they weren't fucking dancing either. But no, his wife was telling him like, that's how you stay on beat, is just follow the drums.
I don't know if I could go without drinking, since I don't drink now. I don't know if I could dance again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always I had to have some drinks in me.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Dude, that's a tough
Could
one.
you imagine yourself out
It's
there
a
right now with
tough
the tie, like flipping around,
like Taylor Swift's on, and you're like dancing? Yeah, dude, it would be tough.
we'd be the ones with the ties around our head, you know?
Yeah,
Shirt halfway off.
I got one coming up in October, and I'm at, you know, it's
different.
I might have one or two, but not enough to be like.
No,
if she wanted to
like
slow
that.
dance or something, I'll of course dance with my wife. She asked me to, but
Absolutely.
but
Is she a big dancer?
If New Kids on the Block comes on, yeah.
Yeah, but she wants to do that with the girls. She don't want to dance the New Kids
Definitely
on the Block
not with
you,
me.
so you're good.
And she knows I don't think it's the best stuff that was ever put out.
Yep.
But hey, man, those dudes are still touring in their fucking 50s and making tons of money.
And they're, selling out the arenas too.
Selling out
those girls
everything.
all the girls our age are running there.
Dude, she took Chevelle not long ago.
Yeah.
And Chevelle was crying like she saw the fucking Beatles for the first time. I'm like,
crazy.
Get the fuck out of here, man. This music is not good enough for a 13-year-old to be crying about it.
Right.
I mean, you could see that if it, again, Taylor or whatever fucking person is now.
Speaking of boy bands, so I'm watching Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah.
Or what is it? One of the Jonas Brothers is in it.
Is he?
Yeah. He invests like with this mega church.
Is he
on
the
an
jacked
island.
one? It's probably
no.
It's probably Nick. He's the jacked one.
Oh wait, I think it is. But
yeah, I'm guessing it is.
It's just funny, boy band shit. But
dude,
yeah,
we all wanted to call him
money.
gay. We all wanted, this fucking music sucks. Every chick in your town that could afford to go there was going there.
Yeah, they made some serious money.
Yeah,
off that.
Yeah.
You know, but
well, and those Jonas dudes were tied in with Disney.
Yeah.
So I think they got fucked around a little bit because
you know,
Disney owns you.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, though, I do listen to a lot of music, but I will turn on I like listening to the Cardinals game on the radio. I don't like watching it on TV. I don't know why I'm into that now.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm old.
Guy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have a couch in the garage with an old, you know what I'm saying? But no, I come in and I'll throw the game on. It's tough lately, but
how is it without Mike Shannon though? I mean he was the voice of Cardinals radio baseball.
I wish they would bring back Dan McLaughlin for TV.
Man, Dan's got his own problems.
He's got a couple, but I mean,
He gone.
Well, he's on the radio now. So he's back on 101 ESPN in the morning with Randy Carricker.
They just Uber him in there every day?
I guess so. But well, he's good, though. He has a good voice. I think, like, and he knows how to talk baseball. They have him on the morning show, and I guess he's rebuilding back up his career or whatever. I mean, he had a couple DWIs. Who doesn't have them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't weird to see him on the news.
But it's, I don't know. I don't
Imagine if you're that officer.
Oh, that arrests him?
Do you bust Dan?
Yeah.
Just give him a fucking ride home.
Right.
But this last one, did you hear the whole story?
Nah, I don't think I did.
He was like pulled up in some dude's driveway. it was like it wasn't like he got pulled over speeding.
Yeah.
He was up in some driveway honking, causing a fucking ruckus, I think.
Right.
Like, I don't think he's a violent person by any means.
No,
but he was just fucking hammered.
Right. And, you know, working at country clubs, there's a lot of golf tournaments, and he's involved in a lot of the charity golf tournaments.
He's all drinking and golf.
You know? Well, yeah. I mean,
it makes total sense.
I was a bartender, dude. I filled up a couple styrofoams.
I'm not ragging on the dude at all. I'm right there with him. I got two myself, so I'm not passing judgment on anybody. But when you're Dan, and like basically, Anheuser I'm sure Anheuser pays him in one check or another, or at least he works for St. Louis Cardinals. Get a fucking ride, dude.
I know, but dude, how many times? I mean, you hear it all the time. Why didn't you do this Uber? Why didn't you take a cab, dude? Sometimes people, and you know this when you get into this mental spot in your head and you just don't give a fuck.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And you just don't think.
I couldn't have afforded Uber because I needed money to drive. Uber wasn't around when I was drinking and driving, so I guess whatever. But
wait, did you walk home from Clayton once? Or
yeah,
down 370? That was you?
Clayton shit. Or 370 shit. I had to walk down 170.
Or 170. That's what I meant. 170.
170, the fucking Rock Road.
That's after the second one.
Hot. No money. No phone. No, I knew no one's phone number.
Right.
I had to. I went to a fucking gas station.
It's a hell of a walk of shame,
dude. I ran some of it. Well, I'm like, I'm a runner. I'm a runner. Let's get there faster. Running down the fucking side of the highway.
Right. They thought you just
jumping
broke
fences
out of the
and shit. Yeah, dude. I was all over the place. I went into a mobile and I'm like, I have
some water. I have no money.
That's what I did. I'm like, I just got out of fucking jail. This is like one of the worst days of my life. Is there any way
you
I
probably
could have
said prison, so it sounded cooler.
No.
I would have. Nah, just
is there any way I could have some water? And she's like, yeah, go get a cup of water. And I'm like, do you have a phone? And then I was like, never mind. I don't know anybody's number.
Right.
So I just had to walk to these people's house. Luckily, I knew half the fucking problem. But anyway, yeah, got out of that one. Well, I did what I had to do for it. I had to go to all the classes. And all that
Yeah.
But yeah, old Danny boy, you would think, hey man, wherever you're at, here is a fucking phone. Just hit one on this thing, and somebody's gonna be there to.
Well, I'm sure he's with people too, right? You know,
not on this last one. I don't think. I think he was flying solo.
No, I mean, I'm not saying necessarily in the car.
With somebody else.
I'm sure he was drinking somewhere.
Where are the homies at, man?
Someone saw him leave.
Danny boy, you already got fucking 4 of these things. You can't get another one or whatever the number.
Yeah, but I mean, people told me that at one.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
You know how to sneak out the side of Mattingly's door, and sneak out that side door and hop on in because you just want to go home.
My first one, a girl was supposed to be stripping out at Weimer's compound. So I'm just flying down the fucking highway, and the state trooper was there. I'm like, oh, god damn it. I knew I wasn't getting out of that one. So I was smoking cigs real quick while he was walking up to the door.
Yeah.
He's like, you in a hurry? I'm like,
smoking like you're going to the electric chair.
Smoking like I was going to jail. Yeah. That sucked, man.
Oh, my God. That's great.
We always end up on, somehow, some way, we always end up on what we did stupid.
Yeah, at the end.
That works.
Yeah.
But you brought up something earlier. You brought up music, or then we started talking about Cooperstown. So, see, you didn't have anything planned, but it worked. So that's all you got to do is ask me a stupid question. Wind me up and watch me just fucking go, because I'd talk too much.
I feel like we need to like start halfway through, if that makes sense. Like the first half, we're kind of like just.
But that's pretty normal too.
Is it?
As a self-admitted, not really podcast listener, it's pretty normal. Yeah. Unless you have a guest on, and normally
then you just kind of go off.
Well, normally when a guest comes on, it's they either have something to plug, like they've got a stand-up special coming or a movie or something that they're doing,
right? So you can always go back to that.
Well,
as you're going.
To them, it's a
marketing.
Yes, but when you're doing something, it's a like if you were going to be you're performing. It's a performance.
Yeah.
So like they come in kind of hot with their own shit to talk about.
Right.
So then the dudes hosting the show can usually just kind of feed off of that. And then
they barely have to work. Let it fly.
Yeah, because the other person wants to look good because chances are a couple 100,000 people are going to see them and they're going to go, oh, who's this fucking blah, 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 and then they'll type. And it just goes from there.
Yeah,
you start selling tickets, and your podcast takes off. So
it's
they
just
all
wild
scratch
how
each
that
other's
stuff
back.
like takes off, because I'm not big on the phone or social media and all this, but I mean, one little thing and it's you could be gone. How quick you can blow up or whatever the case may be, or how many people are viewing your content and.
For sure,
it's insane.
But I think that 15 minutes thing, it's so easy to get. It doesn't seem like as valuable as it used to. Like the Hawk Tua girl. Do you know anything about this?
Right. It goes away. Right
in
away.
and out.
Yeah.
So by tomorrow, when so and so dropped a bomb on a school, you're gone.
Sure.
And to me, that doesn't.
If you don't have any substance, it's gonna do that.
Exactly. You're just some chick talking about sucking dick or whatever. And
it was just it was just a random.
And it's funny. It's something to make memes about and blah blah blah. And you could for sure make some money.
But
off
you see
of
our
it.
attention span, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. So we're looking
Something
at an hour and 20 now. We might want to shut this thing down and save some talking points for next week if you can make it out here.
You don't want to talk about dogs some more?
What do you got about dogs?
I don't know.
Let's do it.
I don't know much about it. That's why the first 20 minutes I didn't say much.
You're gonna want to learn. Yeah, it is a thing, man. But then like Dylan's probably gonna get.
Well, he's gone. So he has 3.
Oh, all right.
At his mom's house.
All right. So he's
Rottweiler, German Shepherd mixes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of digging those.
I love Rots.
So, but yeah, they're good dogs, and it's like Sue, Nancy, and something else. They all got people. They just love people.
Nice.
So I don't know, maybe a dog like that. But anyways, he wouldn't want one in my house though for the longest time. I think it's just because maybe he just wanted to be him and I, something stay consistent.
Yeah.
After the divorce, he had added on brothers, sisters,
yeah,
or whatever.
Sure.
And now he's like kind of devastated right now because my parents are moving out of North County. They're building a house out by my brother. Well, I guess out this way.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been kind of upset about that because everything's changed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like he's being real nostalgic. And this Thursday, he's going. My mom's taking him to see some of his old teachers from grade school.
Nice.
He just really wants to do this.
Sure.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of this when I was 13.
Those people are so impactful to him.
Oh my goodness, ain't that cool though?
Yeah, dude.
So he wants to go to the Early Childhood Development Center over at Hazelwood Central.
Yeah.
And my mom got a hold of them. They're like, yeah, come by. And then I think it's his 2nd grade teacher. He always still talks about her.
Really?
She still works there at Hazelwood, and she's meeting them up at the school.
Oh, dude, so he's gonna freak out on it. Yeah, man, it's awesome.
So that's Thursday. So
Cash. Cool. We were up printing off some photos today at Walgreens. She needed me to go for some fucking reason. Yet my input never gets any play. I don't know why anybody needs me to do anything because no one's. I'm like that one's a good one. No, it isn't. I don't like that one. I'm like, all right. Well, so I went and walked around. Anyway, his assistant principal from elementary school was up there. She's like, "Did Cash tell you I saw him the other day at Target?" I'm like, "No." She was like, "He was so sweet." There were some boys from a different school that he was hanging with. It's probably when he got in a fucking fight. There were some boys from a different school, and he introduced me and all this stuff to his friends, and he wasn't acting like cool or shit. He was like being good, and it's just like, fuck, you can't really.
You got to get his coach on. That'll get views.
I know. Views is cool, but you're right, man. I would rather have a good. I'd rather have a good conversation.
That dude's a cool dude.
But would he want to come here? You know what I'm saying? With this fucking bonus you got, you need to get us an apartment so we can have a studio. We need to find a studio.
I like it.
But he might come over. It's fucking Cash's parents' house, From all things I've heard, he's a really cool. Just
maybe he's dropping off one day, but hey, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Just bring him down here with this freaking backdrop.
Yeah.
He might be like, dude, this is kind of
put these headphones on.
Right?
Like what?
Right.
So I'll explain to you what that stuff says. So
where are we looking?
Landmine is that attachment. You take that barbell and you stick it into this thing, basically the landmine. And so you can do when I go to the dumbbell rack that I built myself, thank you. That's good. I would find like I'm always looking up there. So I would make little notes to myself. So uncommon, I wrote that up there. David Goggins, one of his things, like back when I first started getting really serious, like 4 or 5 years ago,
Sure.
I needed these little mental kickers and they still help. Don't get me wrong. But Goggins says something to the effect of be uncommon amongst uncommon people.
Okay.
1% is try to do 1% better than you did yesterday type thing.
I like that. I don't say it enough.
Well,
I don't think of it enough.
And this came from a GBRS group. They're tier 1 special operator guys, but it just, I don't care who it came from. It made a lot of sense. Like, I'm shooting for 10,000 subscribers. It's like, dude, just do the fucking podcast with your bro and have fun.
Right.
1% isn't too much to ask from a normal person. 1% could mean don't get McDonald's. Yeah, it could mean anything. Right.
No, so I get it. Just
1% is
mental. I mean, it could be one decision.
Yeah.
That you know,
get
for
up,
that day.
Get up and do that one thing, and then you're, however you want to look at it, you're better than you were yesterday because you did that thing.
I've been more into trying to like force myself into doing one thing that betters like my day or whatever. I mean, it might be something small if I'm really struggling.
But that's
day.
okay though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's still a win.
Because you got those days when you're just struggling, you can't. But if you force yourself just a little bit or push yourself just a little bit, it could be this, you know, cleaning the floors, but you're just dog tired, but you just force yourself to do that. You'll feel a little bit better.
Well, when you sit down and eat and your floors are all clean and the house like smells good, you're like, that's a better feeling.
Right. 100%.
Because if you hadn't done that, you're still fucking, I got this to do.
So you're upstairs, very organized. And I mean, that's the only way I can relax is if my house is organized upstairs. You know all the Legos.
That's like her, yeah.
It's freaking insane, you know. But as long as I can get them like kind of in their areas, then we're good. But it's like, so I don't have Dylan tonight, right? Yeah. So last night he helped me, you know, pick up everything. I'll let him get after it for a couple days. Because cleaning up that stuff every day that's a lot. You know, he still has his imagination. He's building a lot of different things, whatever. There's just stuff all over the place. But I cannot like have a good sleep unless the house is picked up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Alicia's very much the same way.
Thing and all that. And it doesn't have to be clean, but sometimes it has to be clean.
Organized.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if it's, you know, kind of close to where it's supposed to go, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know. But
does he ever use instructions?
Like just building Legos?
With his Lego stuff, yeah.
The first time. And then he starts building his own things. So he'll build the whole Lego with the instruction, but then he'll like, okay, I want that arm to go on this thing I'm building, you know. So he's been in that. But there's so many damn Legos. They're everywhere, you know. They're all taken apart.
Do you think he could read instructions on, what's that thing called, the Starship Trooper? What's the thing? What's that one fucking...
The Millennial Falcon?
Millennial Falcon. Yeah. Do you think he could build that with instructions, take it all apart, and then do you think he could rebuild it without the instructions? It's like that intricate.
Oh yeah,
when I think
thousands
Legos,
and thousands of pieces, like we have the Millennial Falcon. That's like
I know
1,800 pieces or
really?
Whatever. That's one of the older ones that he has. But,
has it gotten pretty fucking?
Oh god, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta come out.
Yeah. I want to. So I'm coming up with these ideas of coming up with like some floating shelves and stuff to just because I know once he gets a little bit older, maybe he'll want them like back to how they're supposed to be, so
on
then
display,
we can start like displaying.
Fucking right.
So that's my idea because I would really like that, and I like Legos.
They're crazy cool.
Oh
the ones he does, and these are the ones I saw a few years ago.
It's I think at least 350 to 400 sets.
What?
350 to 400 sets.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's bad, dude. It's bad.
But is it? He's so creative.
It's just a lot. No, I like it, but it's just like sometimes if someone comes over to your house and you're like, you know, sorry about all the Legos, it kind of gets not necessarily embarrassing, but it's like, oh my god, you can't even hide all this many Legos.
No,
you know, it's insane.
And you got to explain it, and it's just like, hey lady, you want to come over? And she's like, what are you, a fucking kid? Or,
hey, do you mind like help me organize these? You know, it's
while you're here.
Yeah.
Wow.
It'd be nice, but
that's pretty cool that he's that creative about it.
Oh, it's insane. I mean,
I liked Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
Growing up, yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I liked those. They were simple. That's why I didn't have to read.
I don't really remember much about like the toys. I mean, I remember like GI Joes, and I was into like, but I remember more like collecting baseball cards.
Sure. Sure.
I can't remember exactly. I did do a little bit of Legos, but
Yeah.
I don't not like this.
I didn't have them like that for sure.
Yeah. No. And we didn't have very much money at all.
But again,
up.
we were out and about, so.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah,
it was nice.
That's my artwork. It says PJ's Son on it. I
Yeah.
I know a lady who has basically a CNC machine that she makes wooden things.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get to a place where I can design something to have, but we'll get there someday. You're right, man. I'm gonna chill out and just have way more fun with this thing.
It's crazy. Within a week, I think for like 2 days, I hated every single thing about my house. Like I'm done. I want to get a new house. Yeah. This is my brain. So I mean, this all started with my neighbors. They got a golf cart, right? They're like, hey, you want to go on a ride? Well, I'm riding backwards on this thing. So we go to the back of the subdivision, and they took a couple turns. I don't know where I'm at. My directions are off. Anyways, we pull up to this area. They're building all these new homes, right? And it has woods in the back, what I want and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I want to do this, right? And then I see everything that I hate about my house for 2 days, okay? Like, I hate this house. Of course, I'm selling this thing. In my head, I was already into a new house. But now I'm like, within this whole week, every day I'm just trying to fix up something on my house and it's starting to feel more like a home. Shit that I've neglected for 5 years because I didn't know if I wanted to stay here or not. So I just didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? To like make it, like a home. And it just, so I'm like, man, I need to redirect, my thinking. Because I cannot afford to go get a new house right now. It'd be stupid. I have like 2.75% interest right now. I'd be jumping to 7 or 8 or whatever the case may be. I mean, and then buying so high and whatever.
And now you got to refurnish that. Then you got to get TVs for that because your TV you have now isn't. Get a better one. It's a whole just getting a new house isn't like a pair of shoes or something.
No.
It's like,
and it's like I want to replace my my shower because it's dirty. I just want to rip the doors off.
I don't want to clean it. I do want to get new doors. New one.
Those shitty ones that slide and they're all jacked up now, but then they're so dirty now. I'm like, I ain't gonna clean that 'cause I'm gonna throw this away. And now it's been a year.
Yeah. But good on you for refocusing that energy. Yeah. Because one of them is rational and the other one just isn't.
Right.
Just up and leaving, and you know what I mean?
Well, no, and then my brother, he would always joke with me because I would get like a dent in my car and I'd get a new one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do go through cars.
A couple of them were
used to
wrecked. Yeah. But it's just my brain. I just
Oh, the easy way out is it seems like the right one.
Yeah.
Do you know that I have never caused a car accident?
Shut the front door.
I've been in tons of them, flipped all kinds
You've
of
been in two with me.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I've never been driving and caused a car accident.
Yeah, I'm up there.
I had
13 to 15 range.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
At least 6 rear ends. I've rear-ended at least 6 people.
I was with you on
2 of them.
2 of those.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I hit a couple parked cars, Oh no, I got rear-ended once. And I was young. This is my first truck. My dad follows me up. We drop it off at the dealership, right? Cool. They fix the bumper. And then my dad drops me back off to pick up the truck. I'm driving home and I'm looking in my rear view mirror. This guy is literally turned around, like feeding his kid. Boom! Just smokes me on my way home. And I called my dad. He's like, what do you mean? What do you mean I don't know. I got rear-ended again.
Dude, what do you want me to say?
I did not do this. No. These 2 instances. The other 13, but,
guilty.
Oh man, but that's
funny.
Yeah. Yep.
No, dude, I'm pretty. I think my mom was just like, that there's no way I can replace all this stuff. So like try to take care of it. So I think but then there's a lot of luck involved too, of course.
Yeah.
But
For sure.
Well, listen, man, let's get you going. I'm hungry. I got to go eat. Alicia brought me home some barbecue.
There you go.
Why didn't you want any?
I don't know. When I talked to you, I was like stressed out.
Well,
I'm not hungry.
I'll share what I got with you. You need to eat.
I'm good. I appreciate you. Where from? Ethel's?
Ethel's, yeah. That place you used to live by?
Yeah.
Remember that shitty little rental house we had?
What, did they have volleyball courts there?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. People.
Your house wasn't terrible.
Man, that little renter. It was good though. It got me here. It was a stepping stone.
It got you out of where you
That's
needed
right.
to be.
That's right.
Over to here.
Well,
So
hey everybody. Thanks for hanging in here with us. If you could do me that stupid favor everybody asks you for and like and subscribe and all that stuff to the channel.
Do you say that on these things?
Well, I mean,
press like and subscribe.
It seems redundant now because everybody's been saying that on YouTube for 20 years, but maybe we can
maybe we get out of here.
If anybody gives a fuck, maybe we can have an actual studio. And I thought about putting this over there right underneath Elmo and having the deer, but then, animal people would hate me for that. So,
see, you're overthinking.
That's
not a bad idea.
No animal people are watching me. Anyway, man, thanks. We're going to, hopefully keep having fun and hope you're having fun and say something. Man.
I'm less pissed off now that I got to talk.
See, therapy. There we go. Yep. All right, everybody, take care of yourselves and do something nice for somebody. It'd be good. We'll see you later. We're still recording on the phone. I hope it didn't run out of battery.
Probably turned